Today we're visiting Clextral in Firminy, France, where we're gonna discuss and have interview with Vice President of company, which is responsible also for sales international department. Also, we're going to be inside on the company and visit and check one of the important products for them. Has your company already completed projects from European Commission? If so, what were the programs or projects?
So Clextral has a history of collaborative programs that we've run throughout the history of the company. For Europe, right now we're involved in a program called DigiFof, which is linked to the factory of the future and how to integrate services in the sales of equipment and how we can support the industry by providing services and not only selling equipment. So this encompasses training, vocational training, different kind of services to help the users of the equipment to better utilize the equipment in the long term. So this is an ongoing program right now.
So what the task within the projects are implemented in your company?
So we are in work package number 2, task 2.6 to be accurate. We are going to support the formulation work, formulation of diet, both for larvae and adult insects. To do that, we are going to utilize the twin screw extrusion technology. So extrusion technology is very much utilized in the food and feed industry, and we are going to leverage the flexibility of this unit, which is used to cook, for instance, cereals. And in this case, we want to achieve a very aerated structure so that the insect can be fed properly and very consistently. So the extruder is going to process different sources of raw material, and that's part of the work, to make a very consistent and stable feed, which is catered for the larva or for the adult. So that's the main work, and that's really a lot to explore. The deliverable for us will be a laboratory equipment, which is going to be installed in the coming months.
What are the expectations do you think will be achieved in this project?
Well, it's a very interesting project because we are in uncharted territory. Insect is definitely a very interesting way to get proteins, and feeding insects is key to growing the larva and the adults. When we look forward about the industrialization of this program, we are looking at potentially very big quantities of feed to be produced. So for us, being involved in the very early stage is very important, because in this program we are going to run at 50-100 kilos an hour of feed. However, the industrial need is much larger. So we need to have in mind already the scaling up to 20, 25, 30 tons an hour, and we have equipment for those capacities. And knowing from the get-go what's happening on the small scale will help us help the program define larger units for the future.
How does your company work, and what are the specializations?
So we started this company 63 years ago in 1956. So we were the first actually to make co-rotating twin screw extruders, and we will see some equipment in our research center. Actually, we really introduced this technology, first of all in the plastic industry in the 50s, and in the food industry in the 70s. And well, I have good news for you. Every day you eat, you touch, you utilize products which are made on twin screw extruders. If in the morning you eat breakfast cereals, it is extruded. If you do some snackings, it is extruded. Plastic compounds making your car or the airbag of your car is extruded. So this is a technology that we see everywhere in our life. And our main activity in Clextral is about food and feed.
What are your achievements and successes so far?
Well, those achievements and successes in terms of extrusion technology is that we took this technology from zero and we have put it everywhere in the world. Today we have customers in 96 countries. And again, both in the food industry, pet snacks, breakfast cereal, ingredients, pet food, fish feed, meat analogs, but also in the chemical industry, in the paper industry. Today, the euro, the banknote, is made of cotton, and this cotton is processed on Clextral extruders. So this is one application where I can say that every European, every day, utilize a Clextral product.
What are the development prospects of your company?
If we look at the food and feed industry, just to narrow the field, we see there is a need of proteins for the human being. We cannot live without proteins. And we all know that protein from meat will be limited. With 10 billion or 9 billion people in 2050, there will be a stress on proteins which will be just unbearable. Therefore, we dedicate a lot of resources and research on working on alternative proteins, whether those alternative proteins are coming from vegetable sources, like lupin, pea. We are looking at really local sources, and insects is a great way to have alternative proteins, because when we look at a surface of a culture, we can grow much more tons of proteins per square kilometer with insects than with vegetable proteins, and of course much more than for meat. So alternative proteins, that's the way to go.
So we have a lot of bunch of toys, right?
Yeah, that's really our blocks, our building blocks. When we create a screw profile in the extruder, which is really where the product, the raw material is going to be processed, we utilize different geometries of screw elements. Each geometry has a specific purpose, whether it is conveying, mixing, kneading, dividing the flow in multiple subflows, and that's the way we really create a shear profile and a cooking profile. This is a mechanical effect due to the screws on the raw material. On top of which we have a thermal effect, because we can heat and cool the extruder. So we can create a temperature profile combined with a shear profile to properly cook the raw material or properly transform the biopolymer or the plastic polymer, depending upon what you put in the extruder. And by controlling those different factors, you create a dough which has certain characteristics, and those characteristics then are giving different types of products.